What's up, guys? This is my next video in the tutorial series for Twinkly Master. Um, this one is going to be about the layout tools, the editor specifically. So first thing to realize is this is your groups, right? When you have or devices, if you have a device in a group, you will not be able to edit it separately because the groups have their own layouts. But that's okay because you can identify the parts of the group that you want to edit it. Like this here, this is made of two devices. So I can say, I want to edit that part. Also, there is a filter for installations. So if your device is in different installations, you can do that and it will change your list in real time. This is supposed to work across all pages. You may see other entries in these drop downs that you don't have in your version. Don't worry about that because I don't change the number until I'm done ready to upload it. All right. So first thing to realize is the left side is just view control and the right side is actual transforms. And then you have a lot of keyboard controls and so on and so forth, as well as a bunch of options with the mouse. So for example, I have this dialect selected. I can highlight just nothing, and then I can select everything on it. And then if I do that, I can, rotate or whatever. You can do that anyway. You'll notice the mouse pointer looks like a camera. Oh, that's just for changing the viewport. And then you can also block to front, left or right, top, whatever. And the only one, if you have to choose 3D perspective, is the only one these will work. So you can do like some fun. That's probably not super useful, that because these aren't real transforms. And then you can do, of course, smaller nodes. You can do live output, which y'all are used to. Grid lines. This one's new for this version of the app. Show wiring. And then it's a little hard to get it to zoom. If you hold down the center button and when using the mouse wheel, it zooms in and out. So you see we have wiring and each individual node is marked, right? And of course you can rotate that around 3D too. It's plenty fast. But we have other mouse controls. We have this, which is specifically for actually rotating the device. So notice the center line at the top. That is pointing directly towards you or the front of the device, what Twinkly considers the front. So if you rotate this, see how it's not moving? But if I'm in this mode and I do it, notice the line moves with it. And I've tilted it, so let me undo that. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. I have implemented an undo and redo. So what does all this do? Okay, so let's go to a simple one. Let's go to something flat. Let's go to house front. Oh, I got to turn this off so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. So this is my screen doors in the middle of this, and then I've got curtains on each side of it. So what if I want to do some transforms on this? Let's say that I want this half to be against that half. Well, I can pick this and I can select all of that. And then Okay, now that I've highlighted this, I can either switch to this mode, and I'm switching these modes with the single mouse button. And you'll notice the whole thing moved anyway. But if I hold down the right button while I do it, it moves only the selection. That's on purpose. Or you can use the keyboard. Keyboard does it too. That's the arrow keys. Now, why would you want to do something like this? Okay, see how they're overlapping now? Pretend these were two grids. If I put my effect on it now, it would put the same thing on both of them. And how do you commit your changes? Well, you come up here and you hit save. And normally you would hit upload, but just for a demonstration, you can also just commit and it'll put it in the server memory. And then you can see it actually has that saved. But since it's not on Twinkly, Twinkly doesn't know about that edit you've made. But now you could go to, say, the exporter and export that if you wanted to. But let's go back to Layout Editor and do some other transforms. Let's go back to house front right. So let's say you have mapped a fence and you can't get your effects to lay out on it right. I'm going to do just the opposite of what you need to do, but just reverse these steps. So let's pretend that this wraps around the corner of a house, right? This one doesn't currently, it's flat, see? But I can change this to 3D, and I can, verify it's working right. Now I can use the selection tool and select a bunch of it. Then I can rotate with the dragger. Did I drag it too far? I need to rotate the whole thing so I can see what I'm doing. I definitely overdid it. My mouse acts up on this stuff. It's really hard to get it to... Oh, I know. I'll just Control-Z. I'll get it back. There we go. So let's go back to rotate and see what it looks like. Okay. So now we're perfectly sideways. I can fine-tune the rotate by looking from above. And then arrow keys. Arrow keys. And there you have it. I have my rotation. So let's pretend you wanted to straighten this out. It would be just the same thing the other way. So I've selected my elbow joint, and then we would, straighten that out with something like that. Yeah, that's perfect. Then we would bring it down. Go it over, down. And that's how you would do that. Now, you notice it's scaled a little wrong. That's all right. So we can do this. I have a setting for that too. Hold down your modifier key, which would be Control in this case, and scroll wheel, and you can zoom just the one part. Our camera rotate. Verify. So that looks pretty good. All right. So you can do normal zooms like this with just the mouse, but if you need to make it wider instead of just tall, for example, you can manually do it here. Okay, I confused myself. I was hitting the wrong buttons. These are just height buttons, position offset. So yeah, you can move around that way. This is what I was trying to show you. This is where you can make it taller just in the Y, or taller or wider. And if it's a 3D object, you can do Z. So if we go to, say, frankly the only 3D object I have currently. We go to Dalek, and let's rotate it in the Z so you can see. So now if I expand it in the Z, it gets fatter that way, see? You can see it in action. If you wanted to do that. So that's basically the controls. You can switch through each mode by clicking the center mouse button. This one's camera. This one is rotate. This is slide around on the screen. And then this is select. So if you, it gives you a drag and drop, or sorry, not a drag and drop, but a drag selection. My mouse is going bad, so it's kind of hard to use. See, I can select it, then I can do whatever. But if I select just part of it, whoops, select just part of it, then I can, like where I'm on transform here, I can hold down the right mouse button while I'm doing it, and it'll do just the selection. And this is a real edit. I mean, I'm editing right now. So if I lift it this way, it is that way now. Control Z. I wasn't supposed to move the whole device. Stupid thing. Must have lit up on the button. There we go. All right. So you'll notice cylindrical or cone shape. That's only a setting only Twinkly uses. Synthesized means you've never mapped it. It expects it to be a 3D. You can change this to linear or 2D if you want, and it gives you different effects available, right? And that goes for the other ones too. If I wanted to, I could have my 2D model, and I could lie and say it's 3D. And then when I use the mobile app, I will see 3D effects available. All right, now there's a couple of custom tools available with this too. We have live output, of course. I mentioned that. But under tools, I also have reset viewport. So if I did something and I was like lost, I could just say reset. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm doing real transforms. This reset viewport is only for camera. So if I had done that and then I reset it, puts it back. All right. So let me pick something that's crooked. Let's go to bells, because I want to show some other tools off. Here's bells. I have an alignment between selections. So if I select that and that, it only works if you have two things selected. You can go in there and say align. Now you get a straight line. Pretty simple. And then we also have auto homogenize layout. So if I don't have any selection, anything selected at all, it will try to evenly space the bulbs, but keep everything shaped the same. So now you see it looks smoother. And then one final tool we have is fix grids. It doesn't work with just grids, even though you would think it does. So let's say I pick Dalek. I go in here and I say fix grids. It's got pretty complicated. It's basically a grid builder. So I'm going to start bottom, alternating vertical, alternating nodes. And I'm going to say 12 down and 11 back. And then they overlap because they're on the same row. And that's because this Dalek is made out of twinkly curtains, and they're 21 drop length. So I went down 12 and back 11. And I want to do the whole thing. So let's auto fix. And then it looks reasonably good. The only reason it's not perfect is because I didn't straighten up some bulbs that were in the wrong spot at top. But if you're If your top and your bottom are neater, it would work better. Did I count wrong? Let me do that again. I think I counted wrong. Oh, I did. It's 11 and 10. That's 21. There we go. Now it's better. Although I ran it twice, I'm starting to get some, mistakes in it. So let's just run it straight and see what we get. 10, apply. There we go. That's how it should kind of look. And then if you check your light index, you can see it goes up and down, back and forth, as we expected. Right? But how would that look on a regular grid? Well, I've already done one, so let's look at garage curtains. I made perfect grids out of them with it. And interestingly, I committed them crooked. But I can fix that. And you saw how I can do it. All right, there's one more thing that I didn't mention. You can load background images now. So if I go background, upload, upload image. Let's pick an image. How about this one? You can set the brightness so it doesn't interfere. And then you have the ability to, if we select everything, that's the trick on this one, because it has to actually do a transform. And you can move it around and line it up with your image. So if you like photographed your candy cane and you can't get it to map, you could manually set this up. I'm going to be adding a click in order thing. So if you click a spot, it goes to the next node and so on. I'm going to be adding that. I don't have it added yet, but it's going to be a tool coming. It's going to be similar to how the custom model builder in Xlights works. Oh, and if you need that to come back, you can call it up that way. Anyway, I will add new tools in this as needed, but I think we got enough to fix most problems with currently. Because let's say you have one bulb out of place. Let me see. Let's go ahead and pick just something like this. So if I have just like one light, right? And let's say it's right click and drag out of place. Well, now that I've highlighted it, put it back. No big deal. So we always have this problem where we map stuff on bulbs. You guys know what the twinkly mapping is. Reflections put stuff in the wrong spots. Anyway, this should be all you need to fix that. Oh, also this is your manual zoom in and outs also. And this is manual undos and redos. See? Anyway, that's all I got for the layout editor. I will go over the exporter in another video. John out.